Welcome to an example here about a quiz. On a recent quiz, the class mean, which is the average, was 71. So the class average was 71 with standard deviation 3. That means like not everybody was exactly average. Some were higher, some were lower. How far off the average were they? Typically by 3. That's what standard deviation means. How far most people are off of the mean. They're above it by 3 or they're below it by 3. Of course, some people are way more than 3 higher, and some people are way less than 3, but that's the average distance from the middle, 3. Calculate the z-score to 4 decimal places for a person who received a score of 66. There's the answer already. How do we do that? Well, we're going to go to the online calculator. Whoops, let me show you. So here we go. So this is the home page of our Canvas course. Come down here and click the online calculator. It'll open up. You'll see this, and there's z-score number 4. Click on z-score, and then we have these blanks. Now, the main thing is you got to know what's what. That weird looking U thing with the little squiggle on the left, that's a Greek M, actually, even though you think that's a U. Well, it's a Greek M, and it's you pronounce it mu, like almost like a cow, moo, but M-U, mu. It's a Greek M. Sorry, that they just use Greek symbols. So anyway, my point is it's a Greek M, and so that's the mean. So when I go back to this question, I say, okay, the mean, what's the mean? Oh, the mean's 71. So I go, okay, come back, and I put right in there 71. That's the mean. Now, this little weird symbol with like a circle with a little squiggle on the right, that's a Greek S. I know you're like, no, that's a 0. It's a O or whatever. No, well, sorry, it's a Greek S. Sigma, it's called. Anyway, it's an S, and that is standard deviation right here. That's 3. Okay. And now the X, that's just the basic value. What's that? That's just their score, 66. That's what they scored. Somebody that scored 66 on the exam. So that's their score, 66. And now we got all 3. And see, this says enter any 3, leave the 4th blank, click calculate. So I go, okay, calculate. There it is, minus 1.6667. That's the z-score. You can see that's right. There it is. It's correct. Now, first off, what does that even mean? Z-score is the number of standard deviations off the middle that a particular score is. Let me explain. That was probably a confusing sentence. Let me try that again. So remember, the average person on this quiz got a 71. Okay. And this person, whoever it is, got a 66. They got below average. But the standard deviation, meaning the typical amount people are off the middle, is 3. Like they're 3 higher, they're at a 74, higher than the average, higher than the mean. Up at 74, they're down 3 to whatever that would be, 68. That's typical. Some are way higher, some are way lower, whatever, but that's the average distance people got above or below the average. It tells you how spread out the numbers were on that quiz, right? So the middle of the quiz, the average of the quiz was 71. The typical spread, the standard spread is 3. The standard distance from the middle, standard deviation, distance from the middle was 3. Okay, so what? Well, this person got a 66. So they're more than one standard deviation below the middle. In other words, if you got a 71, one standard amount below that, subtract 3, that'd be 68. Subtract 3 again, that would be 65. They got just a little bit better than that. So they're almost 2 standard jumps below the middle. In other words, 71's the middle. If you go down by 3 twice, you'll be down to 65. That's basically where they are, almost 2 below, not quite. That's why their z-score is minus 1.666. It's almost minus 2. They're almost 2 jumps below the middle, is what that means. That's why it's negative also, because they're below the middle. It's z-score is number of jumps, standard deviation jumps, above for positive or below the middle for negative. Okay, now, is this unusual? Well, unusual is more than 2 or less than negative 2. So basically, if your z-score is 2 or more or negative 2 or smaller, like negative 2.3 or negative 3 or negative 4 or positive 2.7 or positive 3 or positive 4, then we'd say it's unusual. This one's not unusual, meaning if you're more than 2 standard amounts above or below the middle, you're unusual. You're like extreme. You got extremely better if you're hot, if you're above, or extremely worse if you did below. That's how we measure things in statistics. So the average is 71, and the typical distance from the middle was 3. This person who got 66 was almost 2 typical distances below the middle, almost 2, negative 1.6, which is not unusual. If they were more than 2 jumps below the middle, that would have been unusually bad. And so there we go.